Hey, freedom seekers. How's your heart? So much has happened in the last week. We're about a week out from the election where we watched as millions of people voted for Donald Trump. And if you're here in Ohio like me, you also watched as Ohio residents, especially in rural spaces outside of the larger counties, turned their backs on the senator who has so persistently fought for working class people in our state and instead elected a tyrant to the Senate. And so we lost Sherrod Brown here in Ohio, and I know there's folks in states across the country who have similar sentiments. And so there's a lot brewing. And friends, there's a storm brewing around us. We know that for the next several years, we're going to have to be vigilant in our pursuit of justice, diligent rather in our pursuit of justice. We're going to have to be watchful and vigilant as we seek to protect our rights, and as change agents and freedom seekers and freedom fighters and justice pursuers, you are on the front lines of that important work. And so, friends, for the last week, I've been asking myself, what is mine to do here? What is mine to do in this moment? What is mine to say in this moment? And I know many of you have been asking the same questions as you've wrestled with whatever anger is present for you, whatever sadness is present for you, whatever outrage is present for you. And so as you begin to consider how to move forward, I wanted to offer up a little bit of TC wisdom. My Liberated Black leaders know this framework because we shared at our Liberated Black Leaders Retreat. And I think now in this moment, it's critical for us to understand. And so what I want to offer to you is a deep-seated belief and truth that it is possible to experience freedom while living in and navigating an unjust world. And that in fact, as we look to the years ahead and we ask ourselves, what is ours to do and how do we move forward in this moment, we have to do so while grounding ourselves in our own freedom. We can't leave ourselves out of our work, friends. Now more than ever, I remember when Trump was president last time, I lost 2 friends to suicide and heart attacks. Friends who were on the front lines of protecting undocumented citizens, friends who were on the front lines of racial justice, friends who were on the front lines of trying to stop families from being separated at the borders, who through exhaustion and despair either took their lives or were killed. And friends, I learned from that experience, we have to be in pursuit of our own freedom while navigating an unjust world, while pursuing political freedom for our communities. And in fact, I've learned that those 2 things go hand in hand, that it is actually not possible for us to advance political freedom while leaving ourselves out of it, that we have to ground ourselves in our own freedom, power, belonging, love within. And as we do so, it will reveal to us how we can bring that about in the world around us. And then that pursuit of political freedom will help to sharpen us, right? To sharpen our edges, to refine ourselves, to go deeper into our own personal freedom. Friends, what I'm trying to say is that these things are connected. And so as you are asking yourself in these weeks ahead, what is mine to do in this moment? I want to invite you to first ground yourself in your own freedom. What is at the core will drive how you live your life. And so part of what this means is looking at the stories that we tell ourselves. What is the meaning that we're making out of this election? And be intentional and diligent about examining the stories we're telling ourselves. And so, friends, what I want to invite is some stories that are rooted in the truth of who you are. That you are loved, that you have value, that you belong. Not because Donald Trump and his followers believe that, but because you are a human being, right? And I'm a faith leader as well, and so As a Christian faith leader, I would say you are made in the image of God, and therefore you are God's beloved, right? And if you're not a Christian, that's okay. What's still true, regardless of your faith, is that you matter. You're important. You have power and agency. You belong to this community. And there's nothing anyone can say or do that changes that fundamental truth. So be careful about the thoughts that you have in these next few weeks. Be careful about the stories that you tell yourself. Don't be watchful not to tell yourself stories that says that your life doesn't matter because all those folks voted for Donald Trump, or that you have no power because we didn't get the election outcome we wanted. Now we got to build more power, right, for the next time. That's true politically speaking, but individually speaking, you are a powerful, powerful person. And as you step into your power and you become poised and steady in your power and all that it is that you have to offer the world, so much more becomes possible. You belong, not because they say you belong here, but because it's fundamentally true, right? And then the other side of that is, how are we being in and with our bodies? Because, friends, in these next few years, we're going to be faced with a lot of turbulence. There will be a storm brewing around us. And the invitation here, friends, is for us to be like the eye of the storm, the steadiness that can have clarity and discernment, that can act with clarity and courage to move forward, to be that steady anchor in this moment of storm, so that we are not consumed by fear, so that we're not consumed by all of the chaos around us. And so getting grounded in your body, taking those deep breaths, feeling your own presence in your own body, being connected to yourself, and finding your steadiness, your safety within, because our safety cannot be predicated on the world around us, especially as an activist doing the work of justice. We have to find our safety within. And so, friends, that's my invitation to you. Over the next several weeks, while he's building out his 100-day strategy, while you and your organization maybe are building out your 100-day advocacy strategy to protect, preserve, and advance justice and equity, you should build out your own personal 100-day strategy to ground yourself in your freedom, to really anchor yourself in the truth that you matter, that you belong, that you are loved just as you are, and to surround yourself with others who hold that same belief, who can speak that truth to you, who can reflect back to you the truth of your own belonging and mattering, to ground yourself in your inner safety within, so that you can be still, steady, clear, like the calm of the eye of the storm that can drive us forward in the years ahead. Until next time, Freedom Seekers.